Good morning everyone, hope you are doing well, but I've got a feeling the majority of you will be doing just fine this morning. I'm still absolutely buzzing from that win last night. I've got a real spring in my step this morning and I love it. It's a fantastic feeling. It's a feeling that gets downplayed a little bit too much for my liking, but we'll get on to that. If you show me the fixture list at the start of the season, all 38 games, say pick one, you're guaranteed West Ham will win. Tottenham away every single time, please. And do you know what? I've got absolutely no shame in it whatsoever. Fantastic result last night, a really good performance, and it puts us on 24 points after 15 games, which is a record for West Ham in a Premier League campaign. So with that in mind, it brings a bit of hope, it brings a bit of excitement, and it's hard not to. And do you know what? I love that feeling as well. I'm not going to deny that hope that that win has brought in looking at the league table this morning. It's brought a little bit of excitement and I'm enjoying it. Maybe it'll be short-lived. But that's kind of the point I'm going to make in this video. Anyway, the first thing that gets downplayed is the importance of this fixture. Spurs fans have mocked us for years. Man, it's your cup final. They know it's not a cup final, but the insinuation is this is as good as it gets for you. This is your most important fixture this season because you're going to do nothing in the cups. You don't traditionally have any European football, so Spurs away is your most important game. Now, like I've just admitted, domestically, it probably is for me. But for West Ham, it's not been our most important fixture for quite some time now because we have had European football. We literally had a cup final 6 months ago yesterday, so 6 months apart. We've won 2 cup finals this year. Jarrod Bowen, a hero in both as well. But the mocking element was, this is as good as it gets for us, and well, not really. We've had European football. It's not even our, forget most important fixture this season, it's not even our most important fixture in December this month. That's at Anfield. We've got the Carabao Cup quarter-final. That's more important than the game last night. In February or March, depending on how we get on against Freiburg, we'll have our next European game post-group stage, which is a knockout. That's more important than last night. Doesn't mean I don't love winning that fixture. But the rivalry can get downplayed a little bit, and I don't like it. I think it's important. Just take things away from you in football. That fixture is still important to us. Not as important as some of the other ones, granted, but I absolutely love winning that one. I really do. I've woke up really happy with beat Spurs. And so should anyone. Anyone that loves beating Tottenham, good. I think it's an important thing. Hold on to it. The other thing that gets downplayed is the sort of emotions attached to football a little bit. Because on Monday I was really grumpy how we played against Crystal Palace. The result against Crystal Palace, but also how we played against Crystal Palace. Then you see Bournemouth go there during the week and win, and it makes our result look even worse then, doesn't it? So I'm really grumpy now today. I'm really happy. 5 days apart, my emotions couldn't be more different. Really grumpy and a bit miserable to really excited and happy. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yes, it's a bit fickle. Yes, it's short term. But that's what football is. If we go get beat by Fulham on Sunday, I reserve the right to be grumpy on Monday about the fact that we just lost to Fulham and it's an opportunity missed. Hopefully that doesn't occur and we can go there and get a result. But I'm loving it. And I know, and the reason I say that is because I know some people's there's almost this like angry reaction that when we win, there's almost a, well, you're not grumpy now, are you? Well, no, because we've just won. But I reserve the right to be grumpy. And I reserve the right to be really happy. That's what being a football fan is all about, in my opinion. What do you want out of being a football fan? Well, for me, it's emotion and hope, dreams. That's the 2 things I want back. I invest a lot of time, I invest a lot of money, I invest a lot of emotion. So what do I want back in return? Well, I want that emotion, I want that hopes and dreams. We got it last night. We got it loads. Absolutely love it. Now, before we start talking about the game and West Ham any more, pointing in the direction of our offer of the day. We're running an 8-day Christmas special at Hammers Chat. We're on today 5 now, and it's all about the books. 20% off all unsigned books, plus 1 or 2 signed copies as well. Not all the signed copies, because some of the signed copies we make literally nothing on. So if we were to reduce it, we'd be losing money on it. We don't sell those books to make money. We do it to support other West Ham fans. But some of the books that are included is The Games That Made Us by Daniel Hurley, who is a West Ham season ticket holder. These ones are signed by the author there. You can just see it there. He signed all those books. That's included. The Greatest Escape by Daniel Hurley is included. The Bolin's Farewell's included. And so is The Lion Who Never Roared, about Jack Leslie, who was a boot boy at West Ham, cleaning Bobby Moore's boots. This book only came out a couple of months ago, 20% off it. So if you go to Hammers Chat store ward-prowse.com, or follow the link in the description. They've got 20% off the books already. Don't need any codes, any special links. Just head to the website. They've got 20% off. Plus, the prints have still got 20% off as well. We had a word with Canning Town Len and said, hey, excuse me, can you do us a bit of a deal? So he's allowed us to keep them up at 20% off for a little bit longer. So head over there, get yourself a new print of Paqueta, of Kudus, or our hero last night, Mr. Jarrod Bowen. Lots to choose from, so go have a look and get ordering up. Perfect gifts for you or for someone else this Christmas. Thank you to anyone that has got involved so far. Much appreciated. Now, last night, what a win. But like I said, let's talk about the league table first of all, actually, because while we've got that record, 24 points after 15 games, it sounds fantastic. I mean, it is brilliant. A goal difference of +1. Anyway, if you told me at the start of the season, after 15 games, I mean, what's mad is it's our record and we're 9th. It sounds quite low, doesn't it? But if you told me at the start of the season, after 15 games, you'd be 3 points behind Spurs, you'd be 2 points behind Newcastle, you'd be 5 points ahead of Chelsea, you'd be 6 points behind Man City, I'd have bit your hand off for that, because those points differences, I would assume we'd be higher than 9th, truth be told. But we're in a really good position at this point of the season. Tricky game coming up, playing Fulham away on Sunday. It's a tricky fixture for us, but if we can get a win, 7 points from Crystal Palace, Spurs away and Fulham away is an incredible haul. If we can even get a draw, it's not the worst one. 5 points from those 3 games would mean we've been unbeaten, which we have been. And you would assume the 3 points have come at home to Crystal Palace, a draw away to Spurs or a draw away to Fulham. When you put it like that, in that order, it's probably pretty good. But we're doing all right, and it gives me hope. My hope still remains quite humble, I think, which is 8th. And we get a bit of luck in the Cups, and 8th becomes European football next season again, because I thoroughly enjoy it. Now, going to the game last night, me and Gonzo were polar opposites, actually. I started the week dreading the game, and then Wednesday I just got really excited, and it turned to optimism. Then come yesterday, I thought we were going to win. I was like, yeah, do you know what? We're going to win this, for the reasons we get onto, which is the tactical side of it. Gonzo was the opposite. He was really hopeful at the start of the week, and then as we got closer to kick-off, he started to dread it, thinking we were going to lose. Anyway, start of the week, Gonzo, and middle of the week, Gio, we were both correct. We're also both wrong, but we'll ignore that part. Tactically, do you know something? In the first half, I've seen a lot of people say we're really bad and stuff, and I get it. I thought it was one-way traffic. There's no denying that. At one point, we had 10% possession. It was all one-way traffic. But I thought the ideas were there. I thought we were looking dangerous going forward. A really good chance. I would argue we had the best chance of the half, which was Lucas Paqueta, and made an absolute mess of it. I would argue the best chance of the first half fell to us. And it came through our ideas. We were trying to get the ball wide. We were trying to get in behind the defence. And at times it was working, but we just weren't doing anything with it. Kudus was offside twice. A couple of poor crosses from Soufal. I thought Paqueta was playing really poor in the first half. There were a lot of chances to create a chance, if that makes sense, but we didn't do it. But I thought the ideas were there. And at half time, I was actually quite confident we were going to go on and win. I know you're sitting there right now thinking, of course you were. Well, in the Patreon WhatsApp group, I said at half time, I think we're going to go on and win this 2-1. Now, I got the second part wrong, which was Kudus to be the hero. But that's because I was really impressed with Kudus in the first half. Thought he was really busy, physically really strong. Thought he looked quite dangerous. So I thought he was going to be the one that would turn it around for us. But weirdly, I just had this feeling that we were going to go on and win, because I thought there was enough promises there from us in the first half. And while Spurs had 90% of possession at one point, I didn't think they looked that dangerous. I thought we were coping relatively well. I didn't think Fabianski was that busy. A save from Lo Celso. We're a goal down. I just think it was a magnificent goal from Spurs. I've watched it time and time again now. Yes, James Ward-Prowse could do a little bit better. Aguirre could maybe do a bit better. Alvarez, I don't hold anyone responsible. It's just a really good goal by Tottenham, unfortunately. So it's one of them I'm willing to just shrug and say it's not the end of the world. I think Kurt Zouma missed a really good opportunity with his header as well. We've sort of just ignored that. It's as if it didn't happen. There's absolutely no footage of it whatsoever in the highlights. It's like, just pretend that didn't happen. Delete the Kurt Zouma header from James Ward-Prowse's corner. But I think the best chance in the first half fell to us. So for all their play, and while they were winning, I never felt that Tottenham were well, I don't know how to word this, because they were dominating us and they were in control of the game. But I thought we had the right idea. It just wasn't quite working. In the second half, though, I absolutely loved that performance. We looked dangerous on the break. Paqueta turned up. Well, I've criticised him for the first half. I thought everybody was pretty faultless for 90 minutes, bar Paqueta in the first half. I didn't think he was up to it. I thought he looked a bit. I thought he looked really lazy. His first touches were a bit off, which wasn't like him. You know, that time when ward-prowse belted it right across to him. And usually he'd put money on Paqueta bringing that down. It hit him in the chest and bounced clear. Then Spurs started counter-attacking. There was another one, high ball. He went to bring it down on his left foot. You'd expect him to any day of the week. Miscontrolled it. Spurs won the counter-attack. So he was off in the first half. But in the second half, I thought he was absolutely brilliant. I thought we all were, to a man. But credit to David Moyes, because last week, Sunday, he got asked about conceding goals earlier on in the second half. Now, I do think it was a bit harsh, maybe, to bring it up after conceding the goal we did against Crystal Palace, because that was just clearly an individual error by Mavropanos. That's not a tactical thing. That was, you could argue, maybe it's because Mavropanos has come out a little bit too laid back and switched off, and that's caused the goal from Edouard. Therefore, it is something at half-time. But if I'm going to criticise Moyes for us coming out and conceding goals early on the second half and our second half performance not being good, I think it's only fair you praise him when it is good. If you're going to assume David Moyes' team talk at halftime is crap, and then when we come out and we do really well, I think it's fair to assume that David Moyes' team talk has been quite good at halftime last night. Maybe I'm wrong. We won't know. But I'm assuming both things. I'm assuming that when it goes wrong, it's David Moyes' fault, but when it goes right, that's also down to David Moyes as well. Some people suggested last night that it was because of the players we did well in the second half and it's got nothing to do with Moyes, but I think that's unfair. I don't think there's any evidence for that. Just like there's no evidence that it was because of Moyes, but like I said, when it goes wrong, we'll point the finger and say it's because of the manager, but when it goes right, I don't know if it's because of the manager actually, and I just don't think that's necessarily fair. Criticism where it's due, credit where it's due in my book, and I think fair play to David Moyes last night, because we came out that second half, we looked a better team, a different team, the attitude was spot on, and instead of conceding early, we scored early, and as soon as we scored, we had momentum, we had confidence. Spurs looked rattled, not for the entire second half, but once Jarrod Bowen got that goal, for the next 5-10 minutes, I thought we were first to everything. We were winning every 50-50. I absolutely loved it. It was almost like a Braveheart performance for 10 minutes where we just got stuck in. We got into Spurs players' faces, and I don't think they liked it. But once we sat back a little bit in that second half, as we were going to, I think there was a lot. I think it's fair to say some of the players looked tired in that game last night. And it's not just West Ham, it's Newcastle as well. I say we'll get onto that. We probably won't. For what it's worth, obviously Newcastle got beat 3-0 by Everton, and the fans aren't happy because their away form's horrific. But not only that, it said that it looked like the last 20 minutes of the game looked like the players were playing with cement boots because they were just done. They were gone. They've had so much football, they're shattered. There's an element of that creeping into us. I thought Kudus was knackered 10 minutes before he was taken off by David Moyes, but they'd given everything. But while Spurs started controlling the game again, I didn't feel they were doing it with the swagger. The passing was going. They started doing more crosses. In the first half, there wasn't that many crosses from Spurs. In the second half, I felt they were more keen to get the ball wide and get it in. Probably our tactic. I think I wouldn't be surprised. David Moyes said, let them have it wide and let them cross it, because Richarlison should have scored with that header. But apart from that, we won everything. Zuma, Aguerd, Emerson, Soufal, Soucek. We were winning everything in the air in our 18 yards. The tactics deployed by us were right. But I do think that 10-minute period when we were giving it to them, it knocked them so that when they did have the ball back and they were dominating us possession-wise, it wasn't quite as fluid as it was in the first half. I think they struggled a bit. Moyes spoke after the game against Crystal Palace. I want more risks. I mocked him. I don't regret it. That was my opinion and reaction at the time, because like I said, at the time he speaks about taking more risks, and I feel like he doesn't take any risks. I thought it was a little bit hypocritical coming from Moyes. But last night, you could argue risks were taken. I mean, playing Kudus up front isn't that risky, is it? He's done it loads of times for Ajax. I think there was a lot of logic in starting Kudus up front and Bowen on the right. And fair play to him, because again, I'll be the first one to sit here and say he doesn't change it. He doesn't change it. Well, he did swap Kudus and Bowen, and it worked. It absolutely worked. He changed it in the first half as well. He didn't wait till the second half. He didn't wait until after Crystal Palace, when Paqueta was acting dead, and then he swapped Bowen and Kudus. He did it quicker. In the first half, bang, swapped them over. We got the benefits of it. Bowen scored and had a big hand to play in the winner as well, so it worked. But he spoke about more risks. Now, I assumed that what he meant was he wants to see Paqueta trying the Hollywood pass a bit more often. Maybe he wanted to see Kudus shooting from 25 yards more often. I mean, he had one shot from distance. He had another one, actually. It caused Jarrod Bowen goal. But this is why I like Kudus shooting. He doesn't do it enough. It doesn't have to go in to cause problems. But 2 ricochets and Bowen's in on goal. Happy days. He couldn't have passed that if he wanted to, Kudus. But I felt we did take more risks last night. It just wasn't necessarily what I assumed. Jarrod Bowen gambling for Kudus's goal, for Kudus's shot, I would argue, is that a risk? Not really, but it's gambling. And I think there's a correlation between taking a risk and gambling in football. You look at the winner, Bowen gambles. He assumes that Udogie's a way to pass it back. As soon as before Udogie's even passed it, Bowen's on the run. Bowen's on the move. He knows what's a way to happen here. Ward-Prowse is on the move as well. He's backing Jarrod Bowen up straight away. He's took a gamble. And our tactics last night, I mean, this is something I think a lot of West Ham fans had a suspicion about. And like I said, for clarity, West Ham fans, I refer to Hammers Chat subscribers only. It's the comments I read. A lot of people had hope Ange Postecoglou's tactics would suit David Moyes' tactics last night. I think they did. Moyesball outdone Angeball last night. And I think you've seen that for the second goal. Tottenham passing it around at the back. Our high press. James Ward-Prowse getting forward. We've seen at the start of the season Ward-Prowse getting forward when we were able to play against the likes of Brighton and Chelsea. We were able to play that counter-attacking football, and Ward-Prowse was the one that got up, and Souček was a little bit more reserved. And we switched it round against Sheffield United. That was the game we switched it. Souček got forward. It worked. And since then, Souček was the one that kept going forward, and it's been working in games. But it's almost come at the... I would suggest it's come at the hindrance of James Ward-Prowse to some extent, where there's been some games where he hasn't been involved in. And last night, Ward-Prowse is involved again, but it's the game that suits Ward-Prowse been making those runs, and he got the goal for it. There was quite a few tactical switches from Moyes last night in comparison to previous games that I like. I really liked. There's some big performances from big players out there. Emerson was just incredible. Absolutely incredible. I thought Bowen was fantastic. Almost perfect from Jarrod Bowen last night. And we needed that. I thought the centre-backs were under pressure. I thought they both played really, really well. There was not a bad performer out there after 90 minutes. Like I said, I thought Paqueta had a poor first half. But over the 90 minutes, I thought he played well. Fantastic result. Really, really was. The boys gave absolutely everything. And I'm proud of them this morning. I'm proud of David Moyes this morning as well. Hopefully. And I'll tell you what I did like. Well, I'm mocking for his comments after Crystal Palace. His comments after the game last night, I haven't seen all of them. I've seen some of them. I liked them. He was suggesting he's still not happy. He was suggesting that while we've won and it was a bit better, there's still more to go. I like that. I like it. Demand more from your players because we can. We know this. And this is why there's been a lot of frustration from a lot of West Ham fans, I myself included, which is we've got players like Kudus and Bowen. We can play. We're not... When he first rocked up and were in a relegation battle, and we were playing with players that were, as a team, individually, we perhaps weren't in the top 10 of the Premier Leagues. We were better than some of our parts. We had to play like that. You accepted it. Jarrod Bowen at the time was a championship player that's just come into the Premier League. You accepted the way we played. But now, Bowen's an England international. He's top English goal scorer in the Premier League. Kudus, Paqueta. These are top players. So naturally, as the ability of the players improves, you demand a better style. So, well, come on then, let's see it. Let's see what you've got. And last night is just a reminder of how good some of our individual talent is. But tactically, I know a lot of people are unhappy with the first half, but I can't lie. I can't sit here and say, well, I actually thought it was dreadful. Yes, we got dominated and it was one-way traffic. But I thought there was enough promises from our attacks that we had a bit of a game plan. We knew what to do to beat Tottenham and how to score against them. And I thought we've seen that. The second goal especially, that's a tactical thing. I see a lot of criticisms from Moyes that he doesn't coach things. Well, I don't think you can look at that second goal and say that that wasn't a plan. What James Ward-Prowse pressing up, Bowen following the back pass, us doing the high press. We did it in the first half. We were doing the high press in the first half. It's just that Tottenham are bloody good at getting out of it. Often we were going man for man. Paqueta was up there, Bowen was up there, Kudus was up there. We were going man for man outside Spurs' 18-yarder. It's just that they were comfortably passing it around, and they were good at it. They are good at playing out from the back. But all it takes is one mistake. In order to capitalise on that, you've got to take a risk. Bowen took a risk. Ward-Prowse got an assist and a goal. James Ward-Prowse still assist. He just assisted himself last night. But anyway, fantastic result. Absolutely love it. Buzzing. I'm going to disappear now. I'll be back later with Gonzo as we'll be doing our Fulham preview. Do you know what? I'm looking forward to it again. Like I said, this is what I said at the start. People will downplay or mock you for having emotions and messing in football. It's only a game of football. Well, maybe to you it is, but to me it's more than that. I absolutely love football. It impacts the way I feel. West Ham results impacts it. Whether I like it or not, it's just a natural thing. So today I'm buzzing. My hopes have increased. My expectations have increased slightly. I was dreading Fulham. I said dreading Fulham. I wasn't looking forward to Fulham. And I would still argue that Fulham will be a more difficult game than Tottenham last night because of the way each team play and the way that we want to play. But we'll deal with that in the preview. But last night, Moyesball, well, Angeball 1, Moyesball 2. Absolutely love it. Right, I'm going to disappear. If you've enjoyed this video, please do drop a like on the Sky New to Hammers Chat. And 20% off all our books, hammerchatstore.com. Catch you in a bit.